Hello and a very warm welcome to the Question Hour show from the Parliament House complex, the show where we bring you important unstarred or written questions asked by the members of the upper house during the ongoing budget session of Parliament and the response given by respective departments and ministries. I'm Kriti Mishra and joining me is my colleague Rajat Kane.
Thank you for watching this edition of Question Ask Kriti. Let's begin the show.
And the first question in this edition pertains to the Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairy. And this question has been asked by member Ashok Bajpai. And Mr. Bajpai has asked the government whether sex-sorted semen technology for artificial insemination of cattle is being used by the Ministry of Animal Husbandry of various states to ensure birth of female calves and to control sex ratio in cattle.
Well, replying in affirmative, the ministry said 12 projects from the semen stations located in Gujarat, Haryana, Kerala, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Punjab and Himachal Pradesh have been sanctioned for establishment of sex-sorted semen production facility. The funds have been released to 11 stations and so far 2 projects have been completed. From these projects, 3.25 lakh sex-sorted semen doses have been produced as on 4th of March 2020.
In fact, Rajat, member Ashok Bajpai joined us on the Question Hour show and this is what he had to say on government's response to his question and the measures that the government can take. Take a listen. Sir, welcome to Rajya Sabha Television and thank you so much for talking to us. आपने बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण सवाल पूछा है कि किस तरह से आर्टिफिशियल इंसेमिनेशन जो है वो सेक्स रेशियो को बढ़ाने के लिए कैसे यूज़ हो रहा है. एनिमल हस्बेंड्री मंत्रालय ने काफ़ी विस्तार से जवाब दिया है. क्या सोचते हैं आप इस पूरे मुद्दे पर और क्या मत है आपका सरकार के इस जवाब पर?
मैं देखिए, सरकार ने जवाब दिया है, मैं उससे संतुष्ट हूँ, लेकिन आज आवश्यकता है क्योंकि हम बैलों का कोई उपयोग नहीं रहा, तो जो बछड़े जो मेल होते हैं उनकी कोई उपयोगिता नहीं है और उसको लेकर के उनको लोग बाहर छोड़ देते हैं. वो खेती का भी नुकसान करते हैं और हिंड्रेंस पैदा करते हैं ट्रांसपोर्टेशन में, सड़क पर, तो उनकी कोई आवश्यकता नहीं. आज गाय गो पालन के लिए आवश्यक है कि हम फीमेल ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा हमारे बच्चे हों, जिससे कि लोगों को दुग्ध की उत्पादकता बढ़ेगी और लोगों को रुचि भी होगी कि हमारे जो फीमेल है आगे गाय के रूप में हम उसको पालेंगे, हमारी आर्थिक आमदनी भी बढ़ेगी. तो इसके लिए ज़रूरी है कि जो सेक्स सॉर्टेड जो इंसेमिनेशन है वो थोड़ा महंगा पड़ता है और उसमें कई बार जो एक्स्ट्रा कास्ट है वो किसानों को देनी पड़ती है. उससे किसान जो गरीब किसान हैं वो उससे कई बार बचते हैं और सेक्स सॉर्टेड सीमेंट का उपयोग नहीं कर पाते हैं. तो राज्यों को ये जिम्मेदारी लेनी चाहिए कि जहाँ कहीं पर भी आर्टिफिशियल इंसेमिनेशन की व्यवस्था है वहाँ सेक्स सॉर्टेड इंसेमिनेट कराने के लिए जो भी एक्स्ट्रा कास्ट है वो गवर्नमेंट बियर करे, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट बियर करे. ये स्टेट सेक्टर का मामला है तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को ये जिम्मेदारी लेनी चाहिए. लेकिन अगर हम चाहते हैं कि गोवंश की रक्षा हो, हमारे देश दुग्ध उत्पादन में और ज़्यादा समृद्ध हो, तो उसके लिए आवश्यकता है कि हम सेक्स सॉर्टेड इंसेमिनेशन कराएं और हमारी जो है उससे क्या होगा, फीमेल ही पैदा होंगी और उससे हमारी समृद्धि बढ़ेगी और किसान की आय भी बढ़ेगी और किसान की रुचि भी होगी उसको पालने में, क्योंकि थोड़े दिन बाद वो बछिया गाय बनेगी और दूध देने का काम करेगी. इसलिए मैंने इस सवाल को पूछा था. लेकिन ये दायित्व तो राज्यों का बनता है कि हम जो आर्टिफिशियल वैक्सीनेशन इंसेमिनेशन है उसको सरल बनाने के लिए, आम आदमी की उपलब्धता में लाने के लिए ज़रूरी है कि उसकी कास्ट को गवर्नमेंट को सब्सिडाइज करना चाहिए या गवर्नमेंट को उस जो एक्स्ट्रा कास्ट है उसको पे करनी चाहिए.
सर, इस स्टेप का कितना इम्पैक्ट आप देखते हैं जो दूध का प्रोडक्शन है देश में उस पर?
देखिए, अब धीरे धीरे हमारा देश दुग्ध उत्पादन में दुनिया में नंबर 1 स्थिति में पहुँच चुका है. लेकिन अभी भी जो हमारी आबादी है 130 करोड़ की, उसको देखते हुए दुग्ध की जितनी भी उत्पादकता है उसके बाद भी कम है. आज भी हम बच्चों को नरिश्ड फूड नहीं दे पाते, गरीब बच्चों को दूध नहीं दे पाते. तो दुग्ध उत्पादन के क्षेत्र में भी बहुत आवश्यकता है काम करने की और देश के दुग्ध उत्पादन को बढ़ाना है और दुग्ध की उपलब्धता आम जन तक हो कि गांव का गरीब व्यक्ति भी गाय पाल सके और दुग्ध उत्पादन करके अपने बच्चों को नरिश्ड फूड दे सके. क्योंकि दुग्ध में जितना नरिशमेंट है, मैं समझता हूँ इससे ज़्यादा गाय के दूध से ज़्यादा नरिश्ड फूड कोई और दूसरा नहीं है. तो ये इसकी उपलब्धता बढ़ाने की आवश्यकता है. इधर सरकार को भी ध्यान देने की आवश्यकता है. और आज हो ये रहा है कि उत्तर प्रदेश में लोग जब तक गाय दूध देती है तब तक उसको चारा देते हैं और उसको घर पे रखते हैं और जहाँ दूध देना छोड़ देती है उसे सड़क पर छोड़ देते हैं और फसलों को नुकसान करने का काम करती है. मैं तो चाहूँगा, राज्य सरकारों से मेरा आग्रह होगा कि इसको लेकर के जिसकी गाय है उसका दायित्व तो निर्धारित हो। दुग्ध उत्पादन में अभी और भी हमें काम करने की आवश्यकता है। आबादी के अनुरूप हमारा उत्पादन होना चाहिए ताकि हम सभी को कम से कम पर हेड 1 किलो दूध तो उपलब्ध करा सकें, नहीं तो आधा किलो दूध तो देश की पूरी आबादी को मिले ताकि वो स्वस्थ रह सकें।
So those were useful suggestions that you were making. Thank you so much for talking to Rajya Sabha Television.
So moving on, next question was asked by member Dr. Santanu Sen from Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. The member asked about the status and details of Udan scheme being run for the youth of Jammu and Kashmir and the details of budget allocated, released and utilized for Udan since its inception.
Well, giving a very elaborate response to this question, the government says that Udan is a special industry initiative by the Ministry of Home Affairs for the youth of Jammu and Kashmir, especially graduate and postgraduate, to provide them exposure to the best of corporate India. The program aims to provide skills and also training and enhance the employability of unemployed youth of Jammu and Kashmir. The scheme is being implemented by National Skill Development Corporation, which is NSDC. The scheme was approved as a central sector scheme with a share of Ministry of Home Affairs of 750 crore rupees and rupees 250 crore to be contributed by corporates for a period of 5 years, that is with effect from 2011 to 12 and also from 2015 to 16. Since its inception till 2019-20, 458 crore rupees was allocated and released to NSDC, out of which 434.51 crore was utilized. So far, 38,942 candidates have completed training and 24,189 jobs were offered and 18,694 finally got employed under the Udan scheme of the government. Now let's move on to the next question that has been asked by member Ramnath Thakur, and this question pertains to the Ministry of Rural Development. And Mr. Thakur has asked the government whether it is a fact that 20-point program was implemented by the government which has played a pivotal role in development of rural areas in the country.
Well, replying to the query, the government said as an effort of government to expand capabilities of its citizen package of programs comprising schemes relating to poverty alleviation, employment generation, education and health called 20-point program was in operation since 1975. Now, in view of the changing scenario of the country over the years, the program has been restructured thrice, that is in the year of 1982, 86 and 2006. The present program, now called 20-point program 2006, is in operation since April 2007. The TPP, that is 20-point program 2006, has 20 points covering 65 items for the benefits of both rural and urban people, which coincide with various programs and schemes of the government administered by central nodal ministries and the departments. The Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation has been given the responsibility of monitoring the program. The progress made under the 2006 20-point program during 2017-18 is available on the official website of the ministry. Now, the details of the progress made by different programs and schemes are also available in the report annexed. Well, moving on, next question that was asked by the member Dr. L. Hanumantaya from Ministry of Railways. The member asked about whether the government has planned to privatize railways in the country.
The response given by the government is in negative. The government says that there is no proposal to privatize the Indian Railways. However, it is estimated that Indian Railways would need capital investment of 50 lakh crore between 2018 and 2030 for capacity enhancement of network and enhanced production of rolling stock to enable better delivery of services and to improve its modal share of transport. To bridge the gap in capital funding, it is being planned to use public-private partnership, including proposals for inducting modern rakes to run trains on select routes with an objective to provide improved service delivery to passengers. However, the responsibility of train operations and safety certification rests with Indian Railways in all such cases. The government further says that in order to fulfill the social obligation, passenger fares, especially in suburban and second class, have been kept at low levels as a policy measure so that even poorest segments of the population can afford the fares and access the rail services. However, various measures like dynamic pricing in the upper class segments, rationalization of fare and induction of modern rakes through public-private partnership route are being taken to increase revenue and also improve passenger services in Indian Railways. And moving on to the last question of this edition of the Question Hour show, which has been asked by member Sanjay Raut. And this question pertains to the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. And Mr. Raut has asked the government whether it is a fact that e-commerce is witnessing a spurt in online food delivery and delivery services in the country during the last 3 years, and whether attention of the government has been drawn towards large number of complaints about food quality and hygiene standards of such online food service companies and restaurants, and if so, the details thereof and the action taken thereafter.
Replying in affirmative, the ministry said that online food ordering and delivery services have increased during the last 3 years. The details of the number of consumer grievances filed with National Consumer Helpline in the last 2 years, which also shows an increasing trend, is as following. That is April 2018 to March 2019, number is 1,053, and 2019 April to January 2020, the number happens to be 19,555 cases. Now, some instances of sale of substandard food being delivered through online food delivery service platforms have come to the notice of FSSAI. Whenever any such instance of sale and supply of substandard food items through such platforms is received, the scheme is taken up by the concerned Commissioner of Food Safety of the states and the Union Territories. Now, Food Safety and Standards Act 2006 and rules and regulations framed thereunder have provisions to ensure food quality and hygiene, and the implementation and enforcement primarily rests with the state, Union Territory and the respective governments.
So Rajat, these were the important questions and answers that we filtered in this edition of Question Hour show. But on the other side, we'll have Prashn Kal in Hindi with our colleagues Arvind Singh and Preeti Singh. Please don't go anywhere.